Hello everyone and welcome back to Seers Isle. Where we last left off, the Seers divided up our group and was playing mind games with them. But Rowan came in and saved both Duncan and Arlen. Now Freya, we don't really know what happened to her, but hopefully we can get to her. Chapter 5, Rowan. Let's get to it. When the silence and obscurity finally swallow me, the void changes to night. Chapter 5, Rowan. I am in a forest. The fact that I travel between the two worlds does not mean that I am immune to the hallucinations provoked by these caverns. I know this place. I remember this night. Am I shown the past because I have no future? Because I am condemned to wander in this limbo until the end of time? This would be a bitter lesson for my jailers. I move forward between the trees. I see the fear, the anguish on my own face. It is little more than 2 moons since I left the capital. With the rumors that circulated about the temple trying to take control of the city, I thought I could go unnoticed. There's a crackle of breaking twigs. I look around, wary, then hurry up. I jog between the trees under the pale light of the moon. I reach the outskirts of the forest and find myself before a lake. I sit, or rather, I let myself drop to the pebbled ground. I laugh. I don't know whether I am in a trap or if I have outrun my pursuers. Uh-oh. There is a rustle of wings, the hooting of an owl. Then the man comes out between the trees. He has in his hand on the sheath of his sword, ready to draw. His brow is beaded with sweat, and there's torches back there, so there's probably more people. This time I pause to absorb the lines of his face. I know that I cannot escape. So she used to be a person. 3 winters have passed since the last time I saw him. 3 winters I evaded, often barely his pursuit. Wrinkles have furrowed his face. His temples are graying. His gaze is implacable. Does he still seek justice, or is he simply eaten away by the thirst for vengeance? Luther. He throws the shackles he is holding to my feet. Was she a slave? The villagers aren't far behind me. You have nowhere to go, Rowan. I stand, carefully smoothing my skirt to gain time, but Luther is not deceived. She is fearless. Don't be foolish. If you give yourself up, it's the Seers who will judge you for your transgressions. But if you resist, I will be obliged to administer my own justice, as tradition dictates. Fight back. I know what happens next. It is easier to try to change things. What must be, will be. Then again, if one thing is sure, it's that I don't regret resisting to the very end. Never regret that. I bend, pick up the irons, to throw them in Luther's face. He bats them away with the back of his hand. Then he springs to attention, the point of his sword at my throat. Witch! Let me go, I am innocent. Never. Luther, if you come near me. A gleam flickers between the trees on the left. A torch. I hear a villager cry, "She's there!" The sound, his hunting horn. What did she do? Other lights erupt from the dark mass of the forest. I am trapped. I turn towards the lake in a moment of panic, searching for an escape route. Luther takes advantage of this opening to strike me on the back of my neck with the flat of his blade. I see myself sag onto the beach, like a rag doll. The forest disappears. I am back in the cavern. This poor woman. I lurch, disoriented by the abrupt time shift, then fall to my knees. I feel bad for her. There is the sound of footsteps at some distance above. I turn towards the source of the light. Jennifer! It is Jennifer, flanked by the two Seers, who guide her towards the summit. She's still alive? Her face is blank, empty. Or are they gonna do to her what they did to Rowan and make her like her? Oh no. Stay hidden. Attract her attention. I'm gonna see what happens if I attract her attention. I snap and call to her, but she doesn't look around. The Seers too ignore me. Everything changes. She got the flame. I am dazzled by the brilliant blue of a mountain sky. Jennifer is concluding her pact with the Seers. They present her with a fruit from the flame tree, the vessel of their magic in the world of men. It's almost inconceivable that such a small piece, almost a seed, should be enough to become a shaman. I'm happy for her. Before I have time to react, I am once again back in the cavern. I am alone in the gloom of the subterranean world. I take a few steps forwards before everything changes again. A cheerful spring sun explodes in 1,000 reflected glints on the calm waters of the lake. Behind me, the little mountain village where my uncle and aunt live. I go up the main street to their thatched house. My uncle, Alistair, is sitting on a chair in the shade out the front, repairing his net. The Rowan who appears in the frame of the door is still a child. She hasn't yet been marked by the years of drifting, obliged to always cast a nervous eye over her shoulder. I bend and kiss my uncle on the cheek. He puts his work down in his lap and looks at me with a father's fondness. They hadn't been able to have children, he and my aunt, and despite the tragedy which marked my arrival in their home, they had always considered me as their daughter. Your aunt is preparing blackcurrant tarts for the Beltane vigil this evening. Did you ask her if she needs some help in the kitchen? I smile, look at my feet, bashful. Aw, she's so cute. She looks like one of my characters from my book I write. Yes, I asked her. She told me not to stay shut up inside on such a beautiful day. And I promised Gavin that I'd help him gather berries. Alistair raises an eyebrow. Gavin? You know, Luther's son? Oh no, there's something happened to Gavin and that's why he's after her? Oh. My uncle sighs. I've told you 1,000 times, you shouldn't hang about with that family. The clan chiefs don't marry with people like us. And Luther has only one son. He must have his future planned. It's not fair. Even after all these years, these absurd rules still make me angry. Everyone should be able to choose their own destiny, or at least their own partner. It's ridiculous. Alistair sighs again. I know, but there's nothing we can do. Your father was a clan chief, if he was still with us. But after what happened with your mother, I am overcome with sadness, as I am every time someone speaks of what happened to my parents. They had been dead for 3 years, but the pain of their absence is a needle in the heart that has still not gone away. Alistair looks at me kindly, and I force a smile. My uncle and my aunt welcome me with open arms, and they do all they can to make me happy. Go on, run along, but get home before nightfall, okay? We mustn't be late for the banquet in the village square. I climb the knoll towards the cromlech. I am the first to reach the summit. Gavin shouldn't be long. Wait! Is Rowan from the village that used to be on the island before the Seers took it over? Ooh, that's cool. I sit at the foot of the megalith and daydream as I admire the view of the village, the creek, the lake. I am interrupted by a child's voice behind me. Fiona, please, Gavin, let me come with you. Father forbade you, Fiona. You know, it's dangerous to go into the woods. Gavin comes up the path at a brisk walk. His little sister trots beside him, trying not to get left behind. I wave to him, and he waves back. But I'll be good, I promise. And you'll protect me, Gavin, with your bow. Gavin sighs. I don't know what to do, Rowan. She won't listen to me. You tell her that it's dangerous in the woods. She go back to the village. She's a little kid. Your brother's right. You're too little to come with us. I know it's frustrating, but if your father forbade you, it's for your own good. Ah, you see, Fiona? I told you that Rowan would agree with me. Fiona stamps her foot. Oh, she's so cute. You two are no fun. Sigmund and Flora are decorating the village square for the banquet. You should go and help them. But I want to come with you. Fiona moves off towards the village, still grumbling. Gavin turns to me. She's so annoying. Thanks for reasoning with her. She never listens to me. You're welcome. Anyway, I didn't much want her under our feet either. We move along the path which leads towards the forest, the other side of the cromlech. It breaks my heart to remember these last moments of calm, of simple happiness before tragedy strikes again and changes my fate forever. I like to stop time and stay in this moment a bit longer, maybe even forever. Our wicker baskets slowly fill with raspberries and wild strawberries. Aww, baby bear. Does the mama bear attack Gavin? Oh no. I hear a yelp at my feet. Surprised, I take a step backwards and let out a startled cry. It's a bear cub. It looks hurt. Gavin, who has crouched down, gestures me to be quiet. There's the crackling of breaking wood. Mama bear. Fiona. Don't tell me she gets attacked. No. Oh no. Then a muffled growl nearby in the bushes. Behind me I hear a high-pitched scream. She gets killed. I turn around. It's Fiona, who has followed us and whose head, topped with a halo of blonde curls, peeks from behind the tree trunk. I signal her to hide. When I turn back to Gavin, I see that he has drawn his bow and is preparing to loose an arrow in the general direction of the growling. Before I can have time to stop him, the arrow has flown. There's a furious howl. The bear cub yaps wildly. I am paralyzed with fear. I knew it. It was going to attack him. Oh god. They're like 12 years old and this is happening. The bear charges. A great swipe of its claws rips out Gavin's throat and he falls to the ground. Oh my god. The predator drops onto his chest. The blood gurgles from the open wound. Gavin throws me a last disbelieving look, then his soul leaves his eyes. Feeling more than a motionless puppet. Oh, the bear turns her attention to me and lets out a long growl. Instinctively, I raise my hand towards the beast and take a step forward. She watches me with surprise. I take another step forward, trying not to let myself succumb to fear. So she has some kind of like power, and they thought she was a witch for it. The beast ambles towards me, sniffs my hand, looks at me sadly. The cub lets out a plaintive yelp. The great predator turns to her offspring, picks him up with her mouth, and disappears slowly into the ferns. Everything is quiet again. Fiona has witnessed the scene and is terror-stricken. I open my mouth to say something, to comfort her perhaps, but she turns and runs towards the village. I let myself fall to the ground and burst into tears. Suddenly, I am once more back in the gloom of the cave. I am alone. I think I have shaken off the Seers. I grope my way forwards across the uneven ground until I reach a natural cavern. In the center is Connor. He seems to be conversing with some unseen person. As I approach him, everything changes. We are in a large room with stone walls. At the end of the room, the solar symbol of the one god. I realized that we were inside the temple. During my stay in the capital, I hadn't been able to resist. I had braved the danger and visited the edifice. We must be priests in quarters which are forbidden to laymen. An old man in white robes faces Connor and places a condescending hand on his shoulder. Connor seems surprised. I am too far away to hear what they are saying. Without warning, the man pulls out a long knife from his robe and plunges it into Connor's chest. Connor's surprise changes to shock as he slides down the large desk. We are in the cave. Connor is lying on the ground. I run over to him and crouch down. It is too late. Our eyes meet. Then his eyes close. I notice a glow from the corner of my eye near the entry I had taken. Torches. I run to hide myself behind a cluster of stalagmites. A procession of Seers, accompanied by their white hearts, enter the cabin and walk silently to the body of Connor. Oh! They envelop the body in a large sheet, load it onto the heart, and leave. I leave the cabin by a different exit. The darkness is almost complete, but I feel like the tunnel is sloping under my feet as I advance. Then everything changes again. Not Freya. No. Freya? It is morning. My mind is fuddled, as if I were exhausted and struggling against sleep. I hear the regular sound of hooves on the road. My hands are tied to the pommel of the saddle. There is another horse in front of me, ridden by Luther. We advance on at a light trot. The road bends, and at the end of the long bend, we come out of the wood. The salt smell hits my nostrils. The road winds down to the port and after. The iridescent immensity of the ocean, which reflects the first rays of sunrise. Luther stops our horses to admire the vista, then turns to me. "Ah, you're awake." He tugs on the tether to bring my horse alongside him and pulls a goatskin flask from his satchel. He makes me drink. The liquid is bitter and salty. My head is spinning. Rome stare. You're lucky. The boat for the initiation leaves tomorrow, and you won't have to languish in a cell too long. Oh, they're on the other island that the other people were from. I thought they were from the island that the Seers live on. I scowl at him. He smiles at me. Oh, don't make that face, Rowan. You're responsible for the death of my son. You should thank me for not killing you as the law demands. Tain innocence. Luther, I didn't kill Gavin. I tried to save him. That's what you keep telling me. Yet Fiona accused you. She was a child. You influenced her. You did something unnatural, that even when you ran away. The whole village witnessed it. Whether or not you were responsible for my son's death, you used magic without having been initiated. That's not true. I never hurt anyone. I just wanted to help. I feel faint. My head is spinning. After so many years chasing you, I don't know what to think anymore. Either you were responsible for the death of my son, or you saved my daughter from certain death. That's why I decided to let the Seers judge you. I lose consciousness. Oh, so he drugged her. That's cool. I am awoken by the sound of waves. I am on a boat. Someone has bent over me. She's coming around. Jennifer? My head is spinning. I knew it! She was a part of their team and, like, something happened to her. So, they forgot her. Or is it like some kind of like paradox-like thing? But that's what I was thinking when I first played this, like, first started this game. Like, it seemed like she was a part of their team. Anyway, a group of strangers is staring at me curiously. I get up. The island stretches before us. We see the beach with its wrecked and pale rocky cliffs. Further away in the mist, the summit is like a tooth tearing at the sky. We're nearing a beach. There, do you see it? There's an undercurrent. If we put it in head on, we won't have time to maneuver to avoid the reefs. I see it, but if we keep the sail full with the sea breeze, we should be fine, right? We're losing speed. If we don't do something, we'll drift towards the cliffs before we reach the shore. Listen, I don't want to be a killjoy, but have you seen those big black clouds? The rain begins to fall. The storm doesn't feel natural. They turn to look at Arlen. You're the sailor. What do we do? Well, I'm not sure. Whatever we do, we risk foundering on a reef, or getting swept out to sea. If there's a collision, I'm not sure the boat can take it. It would be disastrous. The rain pours down and thunder rambles. The sea becomes more and more troubled. Wait! The other passengers turned towards me, startled. If we head west, avoiding the reefs, we should be able to reach the beach without too much difficulty. Arlen, what do you think? There's no harm in trying. The rain pours down. Duncan is at the tiller and maneuvers the boat according to my instructions. So we're the Oh, I love this. This is so cool. Brandon is at the prow, peering nervously at the reefs. It looks like it's working. There's a loud cracking sound. The sail is torn. I turn to Duncan. Stay on course. It's going to be okay. Everyone holds their breath. The rain drums at the deck, but the boat seems to be drifting in the right direction. The boat gently slows and lands softly on the sand. Eric throws me a black look. I jump overboard. The moment that my feet touch the ground, everything changes. I am once again in the cavern. At the end of the tunnel, I can finally see the light of day. I hurry to see the way out, afraid of being once more snatched up by the failure, future or the past. I emerge on a high plateau. A few snowflakes float in the frosty air. Somewhere of the mountain, which can be seen through the mist, has never been so near. I feel a hand on my shoulder. Well, that was something. So we have like a bunch of like revelations coming up and stuff. So that's cool. So my lovely PowerCats, that is all we have for today. And if you want to follow my social media, the links are in the description. If you want to comment, like, or share, go do it. And don't forget to subscribe if you're a new member. I'll see you in the next video.